My name is David Allen Butcher. I'm the Executive Director of the Tabortown People of Color Museum. My personal connection to Tabortown is I'm a descendant of Hannah Tabler, who was an emancipated slave who was brought here in the 1830s. Michael Tabler, who was our white ancestor from Germany, he's a second generation born in the British colony in 1774. The museum started in 2017. I got a phone call from Melissa Flowers. We'd done an exhibit at the Kennedy Museum in 2003 that people were aware of, and Lisa wanted me to speak to a large group from Ghana. And I had those panels from the 2003 exhibit, and I said, I'll set something up here in the pole barn next to my home. The expression on their faces when they saw this history kind of gave me the encouragement, hey, I can do this right here. Bringing art and music and that kind of thing to the community, I think is very important. All the people that I have met from Rural Action and AmeriCorps have been passionate. Once they learn this story, this history of this community, it's like, hey, what can we do to help? One of the first AmeriCorps members, all we did was create food boxes. And we went through our community and passed out food boxes. When you have more hands, things move a lot faster. I remember the first group that came down, I don't know, there must have been 15 or 20 of them. It was a major undertaking. This property had an abandoned home and abandoned buildings that were literally filled to the brim, that had to be sorted. Historical artifacts had to be taken out. Things that could be recycled had to be taken out. And it was not easy work. It was dirty work, and they all jumped right in. So it meant a lot to me. Starting out as a nonprofit and applying for small grants, it's hard. It's difficult. But when you apply for large grants, you find that especially like federal government, they like working with people they know and have a relationship with, right? So they don't have a relationship with Tabortown. So Debbie Phillips, let me just say this, has been with us since day one. The first moment I opened this door in this pole barn, she was right here with her staff, wanting to know what they could do to help. Rural Action has a long history of helping and, in the communities. So just the fact to have them on the application to be the administrator, I believe, had to give us more points. We asked for $3 million to build a new museum. We have been awarded $500,000 to build a new museum, because between the Ambler grant of $500,000 and the ODNR mine reclamation cleanup, the landfill cleanup, we're looking at over $1 million to be spent in Tabortown. To my knowledge, it'll be the first federal dollars ever spent in our community. So I'm pretty excited about that. And the oral history now is approaching close to 200 years old. And to my knowledge, this will be the first place ever in this pole barn we're in right now that will be a permanent structure for our history and our culture of Tabortown. So I'm really excited about it, and can't wait for the future.
My name is Andrea Miller, and I'm the Sustainable Forestry Program Director at Rural Action. My interest in this type of work was stimulated from my grandma. She had a lot of woods on her property, and that's where I spent all my days. So that inspired me to study conservation biology, which led me to study herbalism. Herbal products industry as a whole has a history of getting herbs from all over the world, when a lot of these herbs are grown actually right here in Appalachia. Plants such as American ginseng, black cohosh, golden seal, and blue cohosh are all native to this region, and so our region is ripe for their production. So if landowners are interested in producing these crops, it can be a way for them to have supplemental income while also producing these herbs in their woods. The Rural Action Herb Hub is modeled after the Appalachian Sustainable Development Herb Hub located in Duffield, Virginia. The Herb Hub is asset-based community development at its core. The root of asset-based community development is having an understanding of the needs of the community and being able to fulfill that through grant funding. I see the Rural Action Herb Hub facilitating local economies and supporting the local herb market by keeping growers here, being attractive to potential growers in the future, and helping young people get started in farming and providing them with some of that equipment that they might not otherwise be able to purchase. So if landowners are interested in producing these crops, it can be a way for them to have supplemental income while also producing these herbs in their woods. It means that we're producing herbs sustainably within our region as opposed to somewhere outside of the region and bringing them in. We will also be able to offer the Herb Hub services for folks who want to grow and process herbs for their own products to sell into local value-added markets. Folks are excited to use the elderberry destemmer. Folks are excited to use the commercial dehydrator. Folks are excited to use the walk-in drying rooms. Keeping things local is really important. What better way to help develop the region's assets than to work with local growers, local producers to give them an outlet and provide them with market access for their herbs.
My name is Davey McNelly. Yeah, I have two kids. My oldest kid is Georgiana McNelly. She is 13 years old now and is a junior counselor at the watershed camps. And then my youngest child, Louisa, she is 10 years old. They both really enjoy being outdoors. They love arts and crafts. They love drawing. They like being in water a lot. They love being in the creeks. The first time I heard about the Rural Action Education, the watershed camps, was through a friend. He said, hey, this is what childhood used to be like, getting into, streams, getting dirty, coming home, and learning things from what you do outside. So generally, when you're a parent who's looking for a camp, you're just trying to find a camp that your kid will enjoy. For me, I really wanted them to be outside. I wanted them to be learning things, and they really wanted to be outside and learning things as well. I think environmental education programs really matter in this region because we are, part of Appalachia here. It's important to, I think, for our youth to really understand how connected we are to the land, to try and eat local foods, to not just buy, mass-produced things, but really support the local economy as well. One of the great things we have in Appalachian Ohio is nature. We have the environment, and we need to learn how to be good stewards and also how to enjoy it as well. So they know about watersheds, they can talk about them, they understand about water usage and how the local and regional waterways kind of work together more than I do. They're always thinking about that. And I think they're also just thinking more about how their decisions kind of impact others and impact the land as well. And they have both been attending watershed camps for the last 5 years or so. And they really enjoy it. It's their favorite camp, and they always want to come back every year.
My name is Nate Schlater, and my role here at Rural Action is Senior Director of Ecological Restoration. My life story started in the watersheds as a kid in the creeks, and that's where it all began. Most communities are built along a stream or a waterway of some type. If that stream is dead, I think it's less inviting to new business. I think it's less inviting to sustainable community development. No water, no life. And I view that and take that very seriously. Without water, there's really no economy. Almost everything that we do in some way, shape, or form depends on water. I think a lively and thriving stream flowing through a community brings more business in, brings more opportunity for those community members because of this wonderful asset that is within their community. Access to clean water is really important. And I think that is an obvious thing that we're providing. We've restored like 74 stream miles through some of our work, or we've improved 74 stream miles through a lot of this restoration work. Those are real clear points of opportunity for the community to access and benefit from those waterways. I've had grandparents tell me, hey, my grandkids caught a fish in the creek behind the house where we haven't seen a fish for 100 years. And we have 37 species of fish living in Monday Creek now, a stream that was once considered dead. We found 742 individual fish representing 14 native species at a site in Sunday Creek that had 0 fish in 2005. Or that we've created opportunities for people within the community to gain an understanding, to gain knowledge, to gain a sense of ownership, and to also see how they can do some things themselves or carry forward this work themselves outside of what they've done with our team. So Rural Action has a nursery that we're trying to start native tree species to be planted through our restoration projects. We actually planted 200 trees from our nursery at our Dillon Lake wetland site. We planted 400 trees or so from our nursery at another site here in Margaret Creek watershed. Ohio has lost a lot of their wetlands over the last 100 years or longer than that. The work that we're doing is helping to bring some of those back. One, by directly installing and preserving wetland areas. If continue to invest in water quality and ecological restoration in this region, I think that what the people have to look forward to is really very much in line with Rural Action's overarching vision statement. A region with clean streams and healthy forests and thriving family farms and meaningful livelihoods, and where everyone is really playing a role and committing some effort to making sure that all happens. I do think providing the community with the tools and some of the knowledge to identify issues and to address them themselves is one of the best things that we're leaving behind. I think that's what the people have to look forward to, and that is what we should look forward to.